Hey guys, this neighbor JHart Modelworks. It is time for another update on the Ducati 916 from Tamiya. We've got a lot of progress going. We're having some fun still. We did, however, run into a problem, so let's go ahead and get the camera flipped around and talk about what we got going on. Alright guys, here she is. This is where we are at so far. We're about halfway through the instructions, so we're probably about halfway through the build. Our swing arm is attached to the engine. I went ahead and I carbon fibered the chain cover. I wish I had carbon fibered this before I put it on the bike. It was an afterthought that I thought about doing it, then I decided not to, and I thought about doing it, then I decided not to. I assembled it, and then later on I was like, let's go ahead and do it. So that was a little bit of a fit to get that done, but we did get it done in carbon fiber, and I think it looks pretty nice. We have our radiator installed, as well as our oil cooler. The upper radiator hose has some more of that aluminum sheet that's cut into thin strips to make hose clamps at the top and the bottom. The lower radiator hose is all part of the kit, so it doesn't need, because these get painted. We have our oil cooler down here, and those lines run down here. Our battery. Now they said to use sky gray, and I don't have any Tamiya sky gray. I just used Mr. Surfacer 1500 gray primer and then just laid the decal straight over that. It turned out pretty well. Still love that clutch. Our brake lines are installed. There's another notch here, and I don't know what goes to that. I've looked at the instructions. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I can't really tell what line is supposed to go there. I'll have to look some more, maybe watch somebody's YouTube videos to see if anybody actually shows it in there. These guards here are done. They were originally in kit chrome, and I stripped the not really kit chrome, it's like a satin chrome. This one is done the same way. This part is supposed to be like a silver, an aluminum or something of that nature. Then this is supposed to be somewhat chrome. I use the new Fusion Firm chrome that everybody's raving about. Oh, it's so great, it's so wonderful, it's the bestest chrome in the entirety of the world. I'm not that impressed. So when I first sprayed it, I did spray it over gloss black. It looked beautiful. It really did. They say to wait 3 days for this stuff to cure. That is an eternity for me, but I waited the 3 days. The moment I touched the part to glue it onto the body, it immediately turned dull gray. Anywhere my finger touched it, it turned gray. It was almost as bad as Molotov. And that was after giving it the 3 days. Everybody swears it's the greatest. I'm not convinced. It has a nice sheen to it, but that's not chrome. It's a really bright silver, maybe like a polished aluminum perhaps, but it's not chrome. Our exhaust, love the exhaust. The exhaust has came out fantastic. So I painted the exhaust in the same Tamiya gold titanium as the frame, but it needed to be just a little bit darker. So I came back in and just lightly mist coated some of the Alclad exhaust manifold. Just barely misted it on, let it darken it up into a nice bronzy color. It looks gorgeous. Absolutely love it. Then I found on Colts 3D a set of springs. So we have exhaust springs, 3D printed and glued into place. There's one there. There's one there. There's supposed to be another one here. I will have to find another one, print another one out, and glue it on there, because there should be one right there. And then there's another down in there. There it is. You can see a little bit of there. So I'll print up and glue another one on there to replace that one. This is why I say print spares, guys. Print spares. So, but I'm probably going to wait until around the end of the build, like right before I put the body on, so that there's less chance of me hitting it and breaking it again, because apparently I broke that one off. But there should be two here. Additionally, on the exhaust, we went ahead and did the Scale Motorsport 1/12 scale carbon fiber. Before I did anything, I made templates for each side and the centerpiece there using just some Tamiya masking tape. Then I painted it all in Mr. Color Chrome Silver, which is not really a chrome either, but it is a very bright, highly reflective silver that does a real good job of mimicking the bright silver that's on these on the actual mufflers. And then after that was done, I came back in and I just applied the carbon fiber decals, and I made them so that they lined up. The seam went across the top, so that it's, for the most part, it's going to be covered by the bike. The pattern lines up really pretty well. I am happy with that. I love the exhaust on this. Personally, I feel I did a really good job for doing my first motorcycle exhaust. I haven't seen a lot of these bikes. A lot of the reference photos did not show the big multicolored titanium blue and red and purple. So I went with just a tame kind of brownish on, because it shows that these bikes have this gold titanium exhaust, and it just gets this brownish color. There's a little bit of blue here and there, but I didn't really want to go that far with it. So I just went with that, and I'm really happy with how that turned out. Now, the trouble from the unboxing, y'all may remember this portion. And in this bag, which I don't really want to open up because some of those look freaking tiny, there are a lot of screws. Yeah, I'm not opening this up at all till we get into it. I wonder if they gave us any spares. I hope so, because chances are I'm going to lose at least one of these. The answer to that question is no. Tamiya does not include spares in the kit. So what I found is the screws used to hold the frame to the engine, as well as to hold this kickstand in place, and to hold all the body panels to the frame, are M1.2 screws with a 0.25 millimeter thread pitch. There are 4 screws, the 4 that I pointed out earlier for holding the frame to the engine, that are 6 millimeters long. So if you need to replace these, you need M1.2 by 0.25 millimeter thread pitch, 6 millimeter long screws. These down here, as well as the ones that hold the body in place, are an M1.2 2.5 millimeter with the same 0.25 millimeter thread pitch. I don't know the thread pitch for the screws to hold the wheels in place. I didn't research those because I haven't lost those yet. But if you have lost those and that's what you're looking for, you're looking for M1.2s and a 0.25 millimeter thread pitch. And again, you want 2.5s. I actually ended up getting 3s because I couldn't find 2.5s on Amazon unless I ordered a huge box of various sizes. So I got 3 millimeter long and 6 millimeter long for the chassis. The only other thing that we've gotten done is we built the stand. Now, the only downside to that, though, is it doesn't really fit well. So it just kind of flops around there. It doesn't hold snug. So when you actually go to set this up, it just falls off. Maybe it's just mine. Somebody else who's built this bike, let me know how well that stand worked for you. I may go in and just 3D model up an extension to just make it wider. I'll put a hole in the center so it'll fit over here, and I'll make it just wide enough to fit inside so that maybe it will hold more snugly. But yeah. Now, ordering the screws on Amazon, they were supposed to have arrived last Friday, and they didn't. Then they were supposed to have arrived on Saturday, and they didn't. And they were supposed to have arrived on Sunday, and they didn't. And they finally showed up on Monday. No, they didn't show up on Monday either. They finally showed up on Tuesday. So with me waiting all that time, I kind of put this to the side. I did finish the parts to do what we've got here. And then after I got it to this point, I just kind of set it to the side. I started working on the Murcielago, getting the body painted up for that. Playing with some of the interior stuff. I found some seats that I want to go in it, and I 3D printed and built those up. And I just haven't picked this back up yet. And all week long, like I said, these screws came in Tuesday. I got the chassis back on Tuesday. I had the rest of these parts were finished. I just kind of glued them on, and it got set in the box, and the box got set aside. My hope is to get myself back on track with finishing this up. We've only got about 4 more steps. I think we're on step 6, or we just finished 6. So we've got 7, 8, 9, and 10. So my goal is to try and get myself back on track. Hopefully I'll have this bike knocked out in a week or 2, and then I'll put more focus onto the Lamborghini. So that's going to be a wrap for this video, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I always appreciate you watching the videos and supporting the channel, and I will catch you guys on the next one.